Oh, audio. Oh, my friend. How you doing tonight? How's everyone doing tonight? What is today? Monday? Today's a Monday. Today's a Monday-y Monday. It's a very Monday. It's actually been a good day. I can't really complain. I got a lot of my work done early today for a change, which was nice. So I actually got to enjoy a little bit of my afternoon. Not much, but a little bit. It's a Monday, and I'm pissed.
Wow.
That is fair.
Wow. That's its freaking name.
You
Wow.
son of a bitch. Well, Frosty's got the right idea. Frosty wants us to turn our Monday blues into epic loot. So I think we should do that, and we should get started on this game. I am so bright today. What is going on with my brightness? Right? Because I'm glowing like a loot goblin. All right, where the hell did we leave off? That's right. We're in a new barony. We're going to talk to a bunch of whole new characters here and explore the rest of the northeast-ish, because we've already been all the way through here, and there was not much interesting. But we got to talk to all of our new characters, not new characters, but see if they have anything new to say, and we'll see. We'll find out. What do you want? Have a little chat? All right, it's not like we have anything better to do. How do you like it in my party, Ragongar? I think it's grand. You have a fine gang of lunatics here. I myself am no noble from high society, but seriously, Octavia and I never even dreamed of a leader like you. We imagined we'd sit in the woods and rob wagons, maybe join a band of mercenaries, but we never expected to become the henchman of a local ruler. Not to mention, such a pretty one. Aha! Ragongar winks at you playfully. Ooh. Ooh, buddy. You serious there, Ragongar? Better not take a joke like that. What happens if I like it? The half-orc approaches you closely and locks eyes with you. And what if it's not a joke, huh? After a pause, he steps back and laughs heartily. I'm joking. Or am I? We can discuss it later. Another time, and another place. Haven't been up here yet. Oh, that's actually my castle, throne room. So I don't necessarily want to go in there. Who are these people? You see a stout man suited in well-worn armor. His face is framed with silvery stubble, and his fleshy nose is red and pockmarked. He radiates perfect calm. As you approach, he bows, respectfully, and with dignity. Highland, your grace, captain of the city guard. A young dwarf girl salutes you awkwardly. Delia, assistant to the captain. Happy to serve, your grace. I actually don't remember hiring a guard captain, or any guards for that matter. I came here with Restov with a dozen of my best guards by order of Lady Jamandi Eldori, your grace. I hired the rest from among the locals. Don't you worry, your grace. We are now the subjects of the barony. We've sworn to serve you faithfully and loyally, and you can count on us. Besides, we draw our salary from your chests. The captain looks at the female guard, raising his brow, then sighs and looks at you. Of course, every one of us is ready to die protecting your grace. But there's still some work to be done when it comes to discipline. You know that dwarven author, Baldric Zebras? Garlic Tundris? The name escapes me. My boneheads used to read his books about guards' duty right on guard duty. I'll have to teach them lesson or two. I like to learn something about those who serve me. Of course, your grace. I have been a guard all my life. I started a snot-nosed runt in the night watch. Restov is famous for its fencing schools. Young people from all the river kingdoms come to study there. It seems every other person has a sword, and every third thinks they know how to use it better than all the rest. A misspoken word or drunken fight can quickly lead to a stabbing rampage. That's why there are so many guards in the city, and they don't accept just anyone. Lady Jamandi took note of my achievements and marked me for advancement. That's why I'm here. As for Delia, I found her on the street, about a decade ago. I remember vividly. A tiny dwarf girl sitting on the temple steps. Dirty face, barefoot, feeding a piece of bread to a stray cat. I saw her, and my heart missed a beat. The captain looks away. Where she's from, who left her alone, and why, only Erastil knows. As she grew, I tried to send her to learn a craft, but who can talk sense into a dwarf? She wanted to be a guard, and that's that. So now I'm teaching her myself. Lucky she has a head on her shoulders, and a fair bit of strength. Highland, do the guards have everything they need? There are sufficient munitions and supplies, your grace. The salary is fair. We've enough to buy toys for the kids and a jug of beer when the shift is done. Of course, the town is growing. It would be nice to expand the ranks, but we can manage that ourselves. Okay, I hope you have a quiet shift. Neat. I have a captain of the guard. A tense silence hangs over the house. Kaesi, your tiefling friend, emerges from the shadows, but her eyes are staring into the distance. She seems to look right past you. No, not now. The turmoil is suddenly over, but you see fear in Kayesi's eyes, her blue eyes. It's you. I wanted to say oh wow, her eyes are very blue all of a sudden. I think you owe me an explanation. The girl closes her eyes and clenches her fists, obviously in the grip of strong emotion, but one you cannot read. I knew it couldn't last forever. Why did he even make this rule if he knew it would be impossible to keep? She takes a deep breath, opens her eyes, and speaks with firm resolve. Come what may, you should know, Davos, that the person you know by the name of Kayesi does not exist. My real name is Kalaki, and well, it's a long story, and such stories are better told beside a welcoming fire. Will you hear me out? Sure. The girl rests her head on her arm and stares off into the distance, lost in memory. Stories by the fire, in the desert where I was born. My fondest memory. When the day is done, hosts and guests, parents and children, friends and rivals, all gather by the fire under the stars to tell their tales. All they did, all they witnessed, all they heard from other travelers, and the whispers carried by the desert wind. My sister and I often snuck in to hear these stories, hiding in the shadows just beyond the circle of light and warmth. We are hellspawn, you see. Tieflings are unwelcome guests in Kadira, unblessed by the light of merciful Sarenrae. We grew up sleeping in a common tent, scavenging food here and there like orphans, all but outcast and disowned. We were 13 when we left, and set off to find happiness in the cities, and everyone we left behind sighed with relief. My sister and I, we are twins, but as different as the sun and the moon. Her name is Canera, which means silent flame. She is fire, a cold fire. I am a river. It brings me joy to give water to tired travelers and nurture green shoots. But when I flood, I am bound to bring death. The girl's eyes are full of sorrow. Despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to divine Nethys, and by his mercy we now live, in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane, and when she wakes up, we switch places, just as you just witnessed. Alright, so how is it you began to live in turns? Kalake lowers her head. This story, it's one I've never told to anyone before. No one in the whole world. And it's not easy to confide in a stranger. There's too much grief and guilt in it. If you don't mind, I'd rather not go into all the details. You see, my sister died, and I couldn't get over it. Kanara was killed by a soul eater, a monster summoned by secret followers of Abaddon's archdemons. Those who summoned him died in the fight, but the beast was too strong for my sister, and I wasn't even there to protect her. Kalake catches her breath. We just had a fight, and we both did some stupid things just before, but I don't want to talk about that now. When I found out what happened to my sister, I was ready to make a deal with any power, if only I could just get her back, and I found such a power. I was contacted by the Arcanothine, a herald of the god Nethys himself. She promised she would return Kanara to life, but on 2 conditions. First, we must both keep the arrangement a secret. Second, we would never be able to meet again. And so our new life began. Now we flee through the world, guarding our secret, always introducing ourselves as Kayesi, to hide that there are 2 of us, and we switch places with each other at random. While one lives, the other sleeps in a demiplane, one created specially for us. Appearing as a woman-shaped cloud of swirling energy, this creature serves as the herald of Nethys, as a supernatural creature created in a moment of lucidity by an insane, omniscient god. The Arcanothine is often left to her own devices when her master does not need her, and wanders Galarian and the plains, searching for new sensations and meaning to her existence, and that of the multiverse. Sounds pretty sweet, actually. So you can't control these switches at all? No, we can't. They happen at random, most often while we're sleeping, but sometimes in broad daylight. That's why we can never stay in one place for long. When someone witnesses us switch, we usually tell them tales of a special magical way of traveling. But people start noticing strange things and begin to figure things out. Truth be told, I'm so tired of having to pretend. We knew this couldn't last forever, and now the truth is finally out. What's the point in all this? So, you revealed your secret to me. That means you broke one of the rules set by the deity's herald. Yes. Will you make me regret this, Davos? I felt you might be someone who could help my sister and me change our fates. So this is why you didn't remember me when we were talking to Jamandi Eldori? How could I remember you? I'd never met you at the time. That was Kanara. She was the one who talked to you at the reception and helped you fight off the assassins. We usually write each other notes recounting in detail all that happened and describing any friends that Kaesi had made. But that time we switched right in the middle of a mansion engulfed in fire and filled with assassins. Kanara didn't have the time to write any notes. What can I do to help? That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. Kanara was supposed to tell you of an ancient treasury that we've been looking for. Gold isn't the only thing of value in this place. It may contain an ancient relic taken by the Taldan raiders from a respected Kadiran temple of Nethys. It's an unusual relic called the Disk of the Eclipse. I once heard a beautiful story that it was created from the shadow that hides the sun and the moon. But I don't think that could be the truth. Nethys is the god of magic, who was once a mortal wizard, and relics from his temples are usually very powerful. There are many among his followers who think that solving the mysteries of magic, even rivaling their deity, is the best way to serve him. One such follower created the disc long ago in the distant past. According to legend, it gave its owners control over planar travel, but only pairs of wizards bound by unbreakable ties could use it. While one of them traveled the planes, the other was his anchor in our world, and they could switch between. Do you see now why we so desperately wish to find the disc? It might help us understand how the switch between me and Kanara works, and it should make our divine patron happy. Nethys and his assistants value the desire to understand the mysteries of magic above all else. How did this disc come to be in the Stolen Lands? It was brought here by Taldans from the 5th Army of Exploration. Taldor and Kadira were enemies for ages. Thousands of years ago, a soldier broke into the temple of Nethys and stole the relic, to sell it or secretly hoard it as an heirloom. Hundreds of years later, his own kin, or the kin of its 100th buyer, brought the disc to these strange lands, where the Taldans had come, uninvited as usual, and which they finally vanished from with little trace. Sometimes, history is as intricate lace. You'd never guess where it begins and where it ends. Okay, where is this treasury? It was called Sorrowflow in the Chronicle, we read. It was once a Taldan town founded by the veterans of the 5th Army of Exploration. It stood on the shores of a turbulent river, and that was what destroyed it. One night, a terrible flood devastated the settlement, killing many and driving the rest to flee. Only the tower on the cliff remained, which was too high for the flood to reach. Water covered the ruins for a long time, but last year, it receded. My friends found a chronicle, which recounted the destruction of the city, and spoke of the disk of the eclipse which was kept there. They managed to track down the ruins, but were frightened away by the monsters and beasts that roamed the area. If this can help, I'll help. Kalika's sad eyes get a little warmer. Thank you. I will wait for you there at Sorrowflow. And please, let's explore the ruins together, just the two of us. I don't want to give myself away again in front of your companions. Breaking the Arcanothane's conditions once was enough. I have no wish to anger our god. So long. Okay, so she's two people. Nothing like a split personality to spice things up. Alright, I think the only thing left was the tavern. At this point, someone carved a bawdy poem about the origin of the name the Staglord, the Beer Mug Inn. Well, that's on the nose. Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair, a round face and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile, fixing her cap. It's so nice of you to stop by, Your Grace. I'm Elena, the innkeeper. Tell me about yourself, Elena. I'd be happy to, Your Grace. I love to talk, especially about myself. Where are you from? What land? Which family? I hail from the River Kingdoms, our tomb to be precise. I'm from a farming family, like just about everybody from around here. There's more fertile land and pasture there than anywhere in the River Kingdoms, except for maybe 7 Arches. The folks who grow crops and tend cattle are well respected there, but at the same time, they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people, too lazy to work all day, but don't mind taking other people's things. So why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Please don't get me wrong, I was fine at Father's farm, and I've got nothing but respect for farmers' work. But in our back country, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I've dreamed of working at an inn since I was a child. That's the kind of place where there's always lots of guests and stories. So where does the inn's name come from? Oh, don't ask. It's too funny. I kept thinking about what name to pick, choosing just the right one, but not one to waste time. I drew a beer mug on the door. I figured folks would just see it and come on in, so the locals got used to calling the place the Beer Mug Inn, so the name stuck. Okay. Tell me about the River Kingdoms. A month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all, Your Grace. Each kingdom is a special place all its own. Elves live in one of them. Another one, half of the country belongs to the Murderers Guild, and the other half gives them their orders. They say they even get locals' discounts. There's just one thing that unites us all, like a strong thread keeps a quilt together. It's the 6 River Freedoms. And the 6 River Freedoms are... Yes, the first freedom, say what you will, I live free. It doesn't mean you won't get beaten up for what you say, though. The second freedom, well, if you can call it a freedom, oath breakers die. Those who break oaths get killed, just like that. So people prefer not making any oaths at all. The third freedom, walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Hybar decided to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat, well, there's no more Hybar. The fourth freedom is even worse than the second one. Courts are for kings. Whatever a king says goes. Well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across the river. Now for the fifth. Slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. And the sixth, you have what you hold. It means that theft is a much worse crime than robbery, if you catch my drift. You can honestly beat a robber and keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. Shame on him. That's just disrespectful. Theft is a much worse crime than robbery. I don't understand what they're trying to say. Like it. Don't mind me while I rob the local inn, setting a great example as Baron of these lands. Jathal greets you with a nod. Speak. I'd like to hear your story, Jathal. Stories, Jathal shrugs. Stories are boring and a waste of time. I have killed. I was exiled from Keonan. I died. I was raised by Urgathoa's gift. That is my story. Urgathoa, also known as the Pallid Princess and Lady Despair, is the goddess of physical excess, disease, and the undead. She is mostly worshipped by dark necromancers, the undead, and those wishing to become undead. Sometimes those who live gluttonous lifestyles make supplication to her, as do those suffering from a serious illness. Her faithful believe she was the first creature to defy Pharasma and return unnaturally from the boneyard and break free from the cycle of souls. Alright, who were you before your exile? It's rather amusing. I belonged to a wealthy family and held high position on the courts of Iadara, the capital of Keonan. When my little wrongdoings were revealed, the trial was held in the very same court where I tried cases and delivered sentences over several hundred years. An awkward situation, don't you think? Who did you kill? Family. 4. Jathal's voice is calm and ordinary, as if she's speaking of something trivial. But why is the more interesting question. What is the worth of 1,000 years if you cannot enjoy it like your first 10 dozen springs? The elf's voice sounds unusually vehement. Everyone considers elves ever young, but our youthfulness is but a mask, a threadbare ritual gown. What lies underneath? The dust of years and jaded repetition. With each year the dust grows thicker, and erstwhile joys cease to excite, and cloy as a dish you've tasted 1,000 times. Long did I search for a way to avert this fate. Don't I, who has truly tasted life, deserve a better lot than those benumbed old elves who close themselves to the world? And I found a way in the ancient texts of Urgathoa, a ritual involving the blood of my kin, a trifle that would make each day feel as a holiday, created especially for me. The ritual gave strength not only to my body, but to my mind and my soul, and my mind whirled at every sensation, each sip of wine or silken caress. Oh, how I miss this. My cousin was the first I used for the ritual. It was a simple matter to pass her death as an unfortunate accident, but the enchantment would not last. I had to find another, and again conceal my trail. With the third death, my family grew suspicious, and upon the fourth, my deeds were finally revealed. Such a pity. If not for this, my unlife even now would overflow with burning pleasure, for I have dozens of useless relatives. Oh, she's straight evil. Okay, yeah, I mean, do or don't, but senseless murder? Like, there are many ways to arrange a death while keeping within the boundaries of decency at the very least. It is much more difficult to accomplish this in Keonan than the River Kingdoms, Jaethal cringes. But you are correct. I have learned a lesson from my past and will be more careful in the future. Do you have family in Keonan? Anyone who is dear to you? Remaining? Do you mean someone I would hesitate to sacrifice? Perhaps my daughter. I would regret the wasted effort. The creature turned out quite well, like a properly trained dog or a well-managed horse. Oh my god. I don't like Jaethal. I don't. Is exile your only punishment for murder? For an elf, Jaethal says pointedly, exile is a serious punishment. There is no other Keonan in this world. Even I, who despises its hypocrisy, must admit as much. Tell me about Keonan. I hope you do not ask from idle curiosity. Keonan is the birthplace of the elves. The other races are allowed to visit within reasonable limits, usually only as far as Greengold. That is the enclave for half-breeds and the short-lived, a whim of our queen. I enjoyed going there sometimes as to a wild beast show. Beyond this caricature of a city, Keonan is a mixture of grandeur with the sad remains of ancient glory. The port city of Greengold is the second largest settlement in Keonan, and the only official entry point into the Elven Kingdom for non-elves. Situated on Lake Encarthen, it is a popular port of call for traders and diplomats. Greengold generally appears as any other human dockside settlement, except that trees grow in strange places throughout, and the yellow roofs on all the buildings make the city quite distinct. Next to today's graceful dwellings lie the ruins of ancient monuments and fountains. Elves prefer to live in small groups in secluded settlements. The most outgoing and ambitious live in the capital, Iadara. Daily life is filled with the efforts of 100-year-old infants seeking worthy goals, and 1,000-year-old stony cynics entertaining themselves however they can. That is all. It's scarcely worth mentioning that even this gloom is far more tempting than anything one finds in the lands of the short-lived. So how exactly did you die? And what happened after? Jaethal frowns. I don't remember my death. I was stunned by the sentence of exile, and I admit I showed weakness. I wandered aimless, absorbed in despair, without concern for my safety or sustenance. And then I remember desolate rocks, a stone I lay upon, a convulsion passing not only through my whole body, but through my soul. Then I awakened, cold, calm, my body overwhelmed with strength, but haunted by a strange internal silence. There were bloody prints of bone feet on the stone next to me, the sign of the goddess. A battle scythe lay nearby. That was the first and last time I heard Urgathoa's voice. She spoke but 3 words. Hail the Inquisitor. That is all. She has neither addressed me nor answered my pleas ever since. I will not bother you with the story of how I tried to comprehend my new condition. Soon I had a chance to put my new powers to the test. A group of my kin had tracked me through the woods. They were insolent, and would pay dearly for this. But I had to reckon how I might free myself from their persistent chase. A powerful protector among the short-lived could help me, and the Sword Lord seemed suitable. That is all. So what's it like to be undead? Do you wish to know what it means to me personally, or what powers and limitations it imposes? Bit of both, I suppose. Do you regret not being alive anymore? A shadow passes over Jaethal's face. You surely know how to ask questions. She says nothing for a long time. 2 desires led me through life, to feel pleasure time and time again, and to achieve perfection. Unlife brought me closer to the second. I am changeless, torn from time. The chaos of the world and even the soul circle, I have no power over me. But everything comes with a price. Most things that brought me pleasure in life are meaningless to me now. How can I decide which is better? Yeah, if you're living only for yourself, there's no point. Both life and unlife are equally senseless. Agreed. Jaethal yawns pointedly. How do healing spells, prayers, and potions affect you? Dreadfully, of course. Your healers had better stay away from me in battle. The undead are healed through interaction with negative energy, and I can perfectly manage that on my own. So you don't need to sleep? I am spared from that bothersome need, but I hope you do not take this as a reason to invent additional responsibilities to entertain me during the night. I spend this time meditating and addressing the goddess. Alright, raw curiosity. What about carnal pleasures? A tactless and facile question. That pleasure is now as senseless to me as food or wine. Action without feeling. Jaethal cringes. Okay, fair. I assumed, but had to know. Tell me about your goddess. It might sound strange, but I know less than others about Urgathoa and her faith. My transformation into her inquisitor was unexpected, but I will answer to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so what do you know? Urgathoa was once a mortal woman, basking in life and all the pleasures it had to offer. Her passion was so strong that Urgathoa rebelled against Pharasma, against death itself and its laws. After her own death, she escaped the power of the Lady of Graves and returned to the world as a goddess, and the first undead. Since then, she has protected all who submit their souls to pleasure and passion, paying no need to worn-out morals and the dictates of law. So Urgathoa must feud with the other gods. Not Urgathoa, but Pharasma still tries to call her to order, and Sarenrae to heal her. Jaethal laughs at the absurdity. I'm assuming you and Tristian do not get along. Jaethal idly brushes invisible dust from her sleeve. He bothers me no more than any overzealous fool. He's tried so dearly to redeem me with his faith. I know a few sweet ways to redeem him with mine. So what does Urgathoa require of her followers? To enjoy, to taste exquisite dishes, to feel the lover's caress, and drink the enemy's suffering. A wonderful religious obligation, isn't it? And what does it mean to be her inquisitor? This question is more complicated than it seems. An inquisitor is by nature the most zealous defender of their faith, the hand of their goddess in mundane affairs. When I received this title and power, I expected that Urgathoa would tell me my mission. But this never happened. The goddess remained silent. There's only one reasonable explanation I can imagine. Discovering what's expected of me is a part of my mission. So I reflect on this, make my prayers, and wait for a sign. So why is the cult of Urgathoa forbidden in much of Golarion? Because Golarion is plagued by narrow-minded cowards. Some tremble at the freedom granted by Urgathoa. Others fear the wrath of Pharasma and her priests. Okay, that's enough for now. As you wish, conversation is truly a waste of time. Then why are you following me? Curiosity. The need for a reliable ally. You see, I must come to understand what my goddess seeks from me. Urgathoa gave me the powers of Inquisitor without declaring her will to me. I await her reply, any hint or trace or clue, and I suppose our meeting was no mere accident. Besides, Jaethal cringes, I imagine that several Keonan assassins still pursue me. They never risked attacking me while I was under the patronage of the Aldori. They are unlikely to attack while I have reliable allies like you. So why do they insist on coming after you? I don't know. They can't have been sent by the Queen. I am branded outlaw, but my punishment was exile, and it is not custom for elves to contravene their own verdicts. My attackers shouted something about threat and blood. I suppose they are a splinter group of feeble-minded zealots, or someone on a quest for personal revenge. I'm not going to kick her out necessarily, but I do not like Jaethal. Not my favorite companion. Treats her daughter like a horse. It's a certain kind of special. On the nature of the divine. Can a mortal become a god? Is the very idea blasphemy? Science relies on experience where there may be evidence presented in support, but when science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark that illuminates dull matter in incomprehensible ways. The foremost example is angels. to whom we owe the existence of our virtuous mortal souls, which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events, with each promise a connection to the divine. Sunny Sarenrae is a perfect proof of this. The Starstone trial desecrated divinity, turned it into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells who can avoid some traps in a deadly maze may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity, then, so sacred indeed? Kinda sounds a little blasphemous, but hey, you do you. Writing on the wall, Aldori crossed out, Sertova crossed out, beer underlined. Chronicles of Blades, the history of Rostland is known for its many mysteries. One of them is the story of Baron Cyrian I. Cyrian was a furious fighter, although not highly skilled. There were malicious rumors that he fled to Rostland to hide from the sneering public after he'd lost dozens of duels in his homeland, but his new home greeted him with yet more misfortune. He waged not a fistful of coins, but a whole settlement in a duel with a gang chieftain. But the Baron was broken again, and left Rostland in shame. He dropped off the map for several long years, and quiet anonymity changed him completely. Not only did he return home bearing a new name, Cyrian Aldori, but he had also acquired a new gift. He no longer had any equal in sword fighting. Cyrian challenged the chieftain who had once disgraced the young Baron, and slew him in the blink of an eye. Afterwards, he announced a reward of 100,000 gold coins to anyone strong enough to defeat him in battle. Battle in the Valley of Fire by Lurus Aldori. Argon was knocked flat. He laid gasping, arms spread, a lump of rage rising in his throat. He remembered his dream. Black soil, red ravens in the empty sky, their coarse croaks ringing in his ears, like a taunt. Coral would never take Rostland. Never. Aldori sprang to his feet, as if the blood-soaked soil was driving him forward. With a cry of rage, the Sword Lord rushed into the battle. The sky turned scarlet with blood as he furiously chopped off his enemies' heads. The scarlet horizon drew closer, and its roar nearly drowned out the sound of battle. Argon looked to the sky, and a fiery blast descended upon him. There were no ravens that circled above him. The fearsome breath of the red dragons of Coral melted the soldier's armor and turned living flesh to ash and dust. I hope I get to fight a dragon in this game. That'd be super exciting. I have to imagine I will at some point. Every story is made better with a dragon. Okay, I gotta go to Nettle's Crossing. I gotta talk to the nymph. Gotta go to Sorrowflow to get her. That'll probably be one of the first things that I do. Ooh, I can get kingdom resources now from the map. I wonder how that works. I'm gonna keep my current party. Not a big fan of Jathal. And I just got a good thing going with who I have. Alright, first things first. Let's head up to Nettle's Crossing. This map, like, really opened up. Ugh. Oh, wow, that's far away. Okay, I'm not gonna, like, rush over there then. Damn. Yeah, let's go north first. Oh, well, yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do that. Oh, cool. That I can manage my kingdom on the go. That's helpful. But yeah, pop into Nettle's Crossing. She still can't unlock it. Wow. Staglord is dead. Pharasma awaits. Farewell, Davos. Research into the nature of curses, Davik Nettle. You freed an innocent soul from eternal torment, Davos. Yours is truly a noble soul. Tristian lowers his head and begins whispering a prayer. The corpse crumples to the ground. Hey. Oh, I got a spear. And I leveled up from that. Fuck yeah. So who leveled up? Tristian? Yeah. Alright, cool. Give me a minute to pull up. What level is he now? He's level 5. He gets... I think he's just straight cleric, right? Yeah. He has mobility. Pump up his perception, so that's maxed. Lore, nature, and religion. And then he gets extra channel. Can channel energy 2 additional times. You know what? The best healing spell that I have is his channeling, his positive energy channeling. So I'm totally cool with him getting a boost. Cool. Quick and easy. Painless. We're back. Now we can leave Nettle's Crossing and figure out where we're going next. Okay. Yeah, that's very far away. I don't think I'm really strong enough for Tuskgutter. Could try this. Where's Sorrowflow? Can I show that on the map somehow? Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, this is going to be a long way of doing this, but I'm going to go this way, catch this. Wait, belongs to a region outside your territories. Oh. Okay, never mind. Well, that actually just saved me some time, because I'm not going to head that way to get that stuff if I can't even claim it. That's why they want me to claim the outskirts. All right, I'm learning. I'm learning things, everyone. We're getting there. Okay. What? Oh, well, that's interesting. I can't even get over there yet. Huh. In that case, balls. I'm gonna go pop into Oleg's, see what's going on there. Okay, while I'm here, let's go rest. Nope. Okay. He literally cannot move. Ugh. Okay, I don't even know why I came here. I expected them to have something to say. I don't know, something interesting going on. Nothing. Just crickets. I mean, I guess I am gonna go this way. Like, what else is there to do, right? Other than, like, maybe exploring some random areas that I feel like I should wait on? Because that's inaccessible. This, I'm just not confident in it. And that's, like, way over there. Well, this is a new area, too. How do I get there? There's no trail going there. I don't know. Dark, chat, what do you guys think? Should I head all the way to the Verdant Chambers, or should I just explore, like, these areas that I haven't been to yet? I'm an explory kind of person. I like exploring. I just don't know how necessary it is yet, but screw it. Let's try it. Because with time being an issue in this game, I'm hesitant to explore and waste time knowing that I might go back to another place later. You know what I mean? But let's do it. We walked across the heath for a long time, yet no sight sprang up before our eyes. By turns, we discovered a verdant lowland, with several near-about springs streaming down behind another hillside. And then, in the distance, in the center of the lowland among the bush, there stood a single dry tree, a true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled an animal's paw clawing at the sky. But what was truly remarkable, the flat landscape was dotted by mysterious dark humps. They were piled about the height of a man and scattered around in abundance, and we determined that we should explore the lowland. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, heath grass gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, and then sloshy puddles of stinky swamp water. The muddy ground sucked at our feet, and soon our party was jumping from hassock to hassock. Finally, we reached the first group of mysterious humps, and learned there were no mere hills, but dugout dwellings. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland, and there the real swamp began. On the way toward the mysterious giant tree, we saw the foggy outline of another hut, this one much bigger, and surrounded by small clay statues. Let's examine. Inside, the dugouts were frowsy and dark, darker than holes, and filled with absolute desolation. There were no windows in these mud walls, no furniture or other homely items, except for the odd piece of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hollow dug right in the center of the dirt floor, like a fire pit, but taking up the greater part of the space. They were filled with standing water and reeked beyond description. Gross. Standing one behind another and tied together with a rope, we continued on our journey. Uh-oh. Yeah. We walked slowly, carefully choosing our way, keeping to drier ground as much as possible. But the further we went, the more difficult it became, and soon we were wading waist-deep through the cattails. Frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously into the cloudy water, struggling to make out what shadows fitted along the bottom. Suddenly, Davos staggered, spit out an oath, and flailed his arms. He'd made a wrong step, and unable to pull out his foot, he called out loudly and began to sink into the vile green slush. Keeping our wits, we tugged on the rope, but the poorly tied knot quickly came undone. Wary of another of us getting sucked into the bog, we decided to form a living chain. Standing next to each other and holding hands, we began to pull up our fellow traveler. Luckily, Davos managed to keep his head above the water, while we struggled to rescue him. Grabbing the nearest hand and pulling with all his strength, he freed first one foot, and then the other. The insatiable bog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Sodden and weary, we finally made it back to solid ground, and a palace of sorts rose before our eyes. A spacious hut made of mud like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattail spikes, and snail shells. In front of the palace was a wide and shallow reservoir. Its green water reflected the leaves of huge ferns and primitive clay figurines. The buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far to the center of the swamp, and a firm and steady path led there through the thick bushes. At its end, that tall, dry tree stretched mightily upwards, clawing at the firmament. We carefully examined the clay figurines, trying to fathom who they might betray. Goggle eyes, flat heads with no necks, ears or chins, ugly long legs, unnaturally bent. These sculptures could only be the work of boggards. Primitive, cruel boggard tribes had inhabited the swamps of Garund and Avestan since the olden days. Pitiless to others, and to each other, they were led by the darker instincts of their insane priest-kings. They are known to grow young fry in the pools inside the houses. Let's take a peek inside the hut. The palace was twice the height of the other huts, and its entrance was wide enough that 3 could walk abreast. The walls were decorated. An unknown builder had scratched drawings in the clay while it was still wet. The faded scrawl depicted huge amphibians devouring smaller figures, some frog-headed, others not. 3 of the 4 rooms boasted large holes filled with water, just like the other dwellings, though here there were steps descending into them, cut into the dirt. In the furthest room we found equipment decorating the walls: leather armor, spears, clubs. To our surprise, a number of items were well preserved. The hut was clearly deserted, so we felt no shame in taking some of it with us. We moved forward, seeing we'd drawn so near to our goal. It was ever so lovely to walk once again along the well-trodden path. Our soaked clothes imagined being dry, and our mood at once lifted. The bushes that bordered this path seemed to wave at us amiably, with their juicy green leaves and shiny bright red berries. A fresh wind puffed away the rotten smell, and it finally felt like the swamp might nearly be behind us. But then the wind stopped blowing, and the thorny branches continued to move, and we heard a loud shout. Amiri, who was watching our rear, pointed to a surging, crawling wall of green, filling in the path behind us. The surrounding thicket was coming to life. Its branches reached out with a soft swishing sound. Drops of sap oozed from their thorns, gleaming in the emerald dusk. The path was disappearing. There was no way back, and the clear space ahead was closing. We ran forward as fast as our legs could carry us, flying towards the closing passage. Yeah, alas, we were not quick enough. Green walls closed in around us. Branches grabbed at our sleeves. Wicked thorns scratched our hands, and our faces burned with acidic sap. Roots tangled our feet, and our blood fell on the leaves. But with great effort, we broke away at last from the grasping green. Finally, after what seemed an endless trek, we came upon the gigantic dry tree that had so intrigued us from the beginning. Lo and behold, we saw an idol cut in its trunk, a huge, horned, 3-eyed toad. Its googly eyes made it look both cruel and dumb. almost idiotic. Its muzzle hung half open, sharp-toothed, with several hanging tongues. Deep brown streaks oozed from the corner of its mouth. We tried to glean what sort of idol it might be. There could be no doubt. This was Goganta, master of the Great Swamp and the Demon Abyss. But what is this? While we were examining the idol, a large, bright blue dragonfly came out of a hollow in the tree and sat invitingly on the very tip of one of our noses. It was so remarkably strange. It didn't react to our movements, and seemed quite content to remain where it sat. Goganta is a demon lord of fetid swamps and serves as the sole goddess of the swamp-dwelling boggards. Goganta appears as a frog with many heads, and even more eyes and tongues. Boggards portray her as a huge queen of their kind. The Abyss is a plane in the outer sphere dedicated to the rule of evil unfettered by law. It is accessible through huge rents in the maelstrom, opening into fiendish depths, vast beyond imagining. The Abyss is possessed of many layers, strung together by the river Styx. Its inhabitants are demons, its rulers demon lords, who wrested control of the plane eons ago from the primordial Clippeth. The idol reeked of evil, to say the least. We were certain we must destroy it. Clearly we could not leave such an obscenity unscathed. We drew our swords and slashed at the wooden face, and from it oozed black, sticky blood. We heard a great clap of thunder, and a thick fog arose from nowhere. The birds screamed furiously. More thunder soon followed, and with each strike the sky grew darker and darker. Soon we couldn't see the sun through the fog. The air shuddered again, but it was still thunder, or the creaky voice of the monstrous toad. Still our iron blades dug deep into the blood-soaked wood, and at last the idol was smashed into splinters. The fog cleared away, and silence descended. Suddenly, we realized that every frog in the swamp had gone quiet. We turned almost with a sigh of relief, and saw that the flesh-eating bush had withered away. Satisfied with a job well done, we'd returned to where we'd come from. Well, that was an adventure. Jesus. All I was trying to do was get to there. Fun times. Yikes. Yeah, I'll go and rest safely. I think that's a good idea. And then we'll keep exploring to the west, try and see what new areas arise. I like that plan. The area of the Barony is said to be a breeding ground for bandits, brawlers, and cutthroats. Perhaps one of your advisors should set aside these rumors and assure the people that the guard is able to protect them. Oh, well, yeah, dude, do it up. General, is it DC? It's an opportunity. Ooh, ooh. How do I get crisis points? I'm tentatively going to use those. What do we got going on over here? This is a huge area. Where are the enemies? Oh my gosh, I haven't had this on the entire time. I wonder how much stuff I've missed. Hopefully not much. A shocker lizard. Shocker lizard has a pale yellow underside with bright green scales elsewhere on its 3-foot-long body and weighs about 25 pounds. Shocker lizards tend toward group living as their electrical abilities grow in power when they are close to another lizard. That's terrifying. A shocker lizard colony is usually located near a source of water. Once the colony has settled on a location, the lizards become very territorial and attack anything that intrudes on them. A solitary shocker lizard is a timid and hesitant creature, but when several of them gather, they become formidable and fearsome opponents, capable of killing creatures several times their own size. A shocker lizard relies on its electricity abilities in combat, and tends to bite only after its shock has rendered an opponent unconscious, or when the shock seems to have no effect at all. A solitary lizard flees once it delivers its shocks, but if other shocker lizards are nearby, they all hone in on their comrades' discharges and attempt to administer lethal shocks to the foe. Many have attempted to capture and tame shocker lizards, but this often proves a difficult and painful task. Alone and in captivity, shocker lizards tend to wither and die swiftly, unless their keepers spend a lot of time grooming and playing with the lizards to keep them company. Aww. Kept in pairs or larger numbers, captive shocker lizards thrive, but their increasing electrical ability makes them more difficult to manage for keepers who aren't themselves immune to electricity. Oh, I don't want to fight it. It's cute. Aw. It's not trying to hurt me. Sorry, bud. Gotta find a way to cross the river, so I guess the best way to do that. Ooh. An ancient and half-ruined watchtower lost in the depths of the Gnarl Marches. It is a local point of interest and a source of inspiration for several legends in the area. These tales compete with each other, telling of the tower's construction and, more popularly, its destruction by mysterious, incomprehensible, and usually supernatural forces. The truth is a bit more prosaic. The watchtower was built by dwarves and used to guard a local trade route, which last saw use centuries ago. Clear proof of this can be seen in the statue of Torag that stands near the foot of the watchtower. A little islet in the middle of the Skunk River, topped by 2 living and 1 half-living pine trees. Local fishermen still fight over the name, as some think it should be called 2.5 Pines Islet. Oh gosh, okay. Let's go exploring. Per Dark's request. Okay, I've taken tassel worms before. Let me just check their levels real quick. Alright, we got that. I honestly don't even know if what I'm looking at is their level. I'm assuming it is, but it doesn't seem like it is. Because I'd expect to see something like, you know, leader or DPS or, you know, whatever the technical terms are. And instead I'm seeing things like natural or beast. Dragon. Level 3 dragon. Is that right? Good hit. Sverfneblum. Sverfneblin. What's up, Tuck? How you doing, buddy? How's your evening going? And more importantly, how's Jack? Doesn't get old. Got a couple new ones. Audio sent me one that I'm going to switch out from. And then RTFX Studio, it has a recording of her cat's meow in 8-bit soundbite form. And that is her new walk-on sound. It's adorable. I'm doing well. How are you? Jack is amazing. I took some shots of him at night. His bow tie lights up. Very cool. I didn't even know that. That's awesome. You should put this on the Discord. That's what you should do. So you can go see your 13-foot-tall Jack Skellington. Goddamn, Amiri. When you work, you work. God. If only she worked more often. Although I did spend a lot of time upgrading her weapon. So hopefully that'll change now. That's a good idea, actually. Which, I say a lot of things and I remember not much of it. Are you stuck? You are. You're stuck behind Harem. Nah, don't do an opportunity attack. No need for that. I'll hit him. There we go. Oh, putting the Jack on Discord? Hell yeah, dude. Do it up. I'm so glad that thing's finally up and looks like wicked cool. Ancient weather-worn ruins. Time has been merciless to them. It is virtually impossible to tell when they were erected or who were the builders. The long spear. I had a short spear. Now I have a long spear. And it's actually better for him. Wow. Hey, rice and nut pudding. There we go. It's not giving me a chance to avoid this one. Put up a small cemetery at Jack's feet. Nice. Other than that, though, nothing much. How about you? It just worked. It sounds really cool. What is that? What is going on? Yo. What are you? Whoa. Yo now. What the hell just happened? Young Dweomercat? Alright, well, we gotta save that thing. Oh. like you. I don't like that I can't target that thing either. Oh, that was... 4 McNuggets.
Yes!
Nah. That one says dead. Oh, I'm assuming these are regeneration 3 acid fire. Okay, cool. So, in order for me to kill these things, I'll do it. Damn, the Dweomercat though. I should really have more of these things. Yeah, because I missed that one. Oh, stop tripping, everyone. Oh, who has that ability? You should. Yes. Totally forgot about it. I had that. The Dweomercat does not forget those who help her. We shall meet again, perhaps, who knows. Alright. I feel like that's a good ally to have. And I leveled up. Everyone leveled up. Okay, let's take 5 and do that. For those of you who are curious, I will be posting the guide that I use in the YouTube channel so that everyone can follow along with my character creation, if you choose to. Alright, so level 5, he keeps with Sorcerer, and he gets Spell Specialization. Also, obviously, Persuasion. I think I'm starting to see the benefit of Stealth, if no one else has it. Spell Specialization. Select one spell. You can cast that spell with greater than normal power. Every time you gain a level in a spellcasting class, you can choose a new spell. Okay, that is good. If it was like one spell permanently, that would suck. But if I can choose it each level up, okay, fair. So which one for now, though, is my question. Oh, let's do Ray of... Nope, not Ray of Frost. Let's do Magic Missile, since that's his damaging one. And I feel like I should just start using that more often. Alright, now I can get Mirror Image, which is cool. That is a helpful defensive spell. And Reduce Person is what they recommend, but I kind of disagree. Although, not that I'm seeing anything else that... Yeah, I'm going to go with Cause Fear. I doubt I'll ever use it, if I'm being honest, but let's see. Lindsay, level 5, sticks with Bard. She gets the Knowledges, Trickery, Persuasion, and let's go with, I think, use Magic Device. That'll be her. She now gets Accomplished Sneak Attacker, which is very cool. And then she gets Cacophonous Call and also Heroism, which target grants a +2 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. So it's like Bless. It's double Bless, but for only one creature. But still pretty good. Okay. Go to Amiri, who gets another level in Barbarian, and she gets Athletics, Perception, and she gets Reckless Stance. Oh, that's a Rage Power. What did she get for... Oh, Combat Reflexes. With this feat, you may also make attacks of opportunity while flat-footed, an additional number of attacks of opportunity per round equal to your dexterity bonus. That's really cool. Okay. And now she gets Reckless Stance. She gains +1 bonus in attack rolls, but a -1 penalty to AC. Yep. I am cool with that. Valerie. Gets another level in fighter. She has her mobility. She apparently gets persuasion and perception. And then she gets weapon focus with her bastard sword. This is just a permanent +1 attack bonus. That's pretty cool. Makes her a little bit more helpful. Harim. It's my odd one. He goes to Sorcerer again, and he gets spell specialization as well. Give him specialization with Cause Fear. He'll be able to do that more frequently. Been 2 hours. Do you need to get up? I should. I should definitely refill my tea, let Steelyx out, go to the bathroom. I'm going to take a 5-minute recess, and I recommend that you all do the same. Get up and stretch and take care of yourselves, and watch out for porcupines. I guess we're going to fight these enemies. I don't know what we're going to run into out here. Ooh, Spideys. Ooh. Claw me, claw thee. The Dweomercat will help you. Now I got this Dweomercat running around helping me out. That's awesome. Ooh, okay. Not liking this spider. It's very hard to hit. Very hard to hit. Okay, Dweomercat is not helping me nearly as much as I hoped it would. Yeah, I gotta be using this spell way more often. She's got like a +2 bonus to attack, and she's still missing this damn thing. Dang. Got it. Alright.
You know, the author of my favorite books was a follower of the Dawnflower. His name was Ash. He wasn't a man of the cloth like you, Tristian. He dabbled in the arcane arts, but he did find Sarenrae's teaching and ideology to live by.
I like the sound of this, Ash. Perhaps I will have to give those books a read. Legend of the Arknights of Aveston, was it?
Tristian, I love his voice. Oh, well. Okay, I thought that it would remove everyone else from my party. Apparently it will not. So let's start there. And then we'll pop here. No! 3 days. Ridiculous. That's a lot of days. I feel like I'm going to have to do it at some point anyways. Might as well just do it now. Nope. Just nope. Okay. Moving on. That ain't gonna happen. I'm very underleveled for that area. Now I know. Understood. That was nuts. Okay. So this is back before I split up my party. Let's just start heading back towards the kingdom, I guess. I think I'm supposed to just advance time a little bit until... Or just keep exploring. Until I get some new events in my kingdom. I'm gonna start using my spells more often too. I'm resting way more often than I thought I would. So it doesn't make much sense for me to like not use my abilities if they're gonna be refreshed all the time, you know what I mean? I could go check out this bandit camp. Maybe. Why not? A small glade in the middle of the woods in which someone has set up camp. Smoke drifts above the trees as well as some voices and what might be laughter. Let's go check them out. You think it went swell? Well, good. I'm glad that I could entertain, I suppose. Yep. Hey, y'all are leaving some for me, right? Just stand lookout like you were told. The man's voice carries the weight of command. He seems to be the leader of these bandits. His bushy beard is matted, and remnants of the last day's meals are still evident in it. Quit your whining. We always take care of our own, don't we? Says a disheveled, rotund woman with a round face. Ah, right you are. Heh. When have we ever mistreated you, Shorty? The short, ratty man whose filthy strands of hair do little to obscure his prominent bald spot doesn't even try to watch the road. His eyes are locked on the sight of his companions rummaging through their most recent haul of obviously stolen loot. The bandit leader looks up and jumps with a start when he sees you, his sole eye wide in disbelief. Shorty, you ass! You were supposed to watch the road! Shorty spins to face you, finally noticing your presence. Hey, someone's coming! Grab your blades! He yells belatedly. Hey, hold on, everyone, the bandit leader says as he sheaths the sword he'd drawn just a moment ago. And Shorty, stop your foaming. Look here, this is our glorious Baron himself. Come now, bow down, everyone. Bow down. The bandit leader bows low, a smirk showing through his bushy beard. The rest of the bandits clumsily repeat the gesture, all except Shorty, who can only glance back and forth, unable to comprehend the situation. What's going on here? Why, we're your loyal subjects, honest bandits, the lot of us. The bandit leader's broad smile reveals a mouth full of rotted teeth. We'd been associating with the Stag Lord's band, but since you went and beat the stag out of him, we're left on our own. So now you ought to take us in, Your Grace. We'd be even better with a strong leader. All right, hold up. What kind of terms are we talking here? Aye, Your Grace. We're ready and willing to serve. We'll take a pledge right now if you want. We'll kiss your boots, your ass, whatever you need. We're sick to death of hiding in the woods and sleeping in the dirt. Why be bandits when we could take from traders legal-like? Collect taxes, he means, Your Grace, the rotund woman clarifies. All for the glory of Your Grace, of course, the bandit leader says with a grin. Hey, what are you saying? Shorty shakes his head in confusion. If that's the Baron, the only job he'll have for us is as a noose tightener. I say we cut him down and call it a day. Shut your trap, Shorty. I beg your pardon, Your Grace. Dumb as a doornail he is. Just joined our company but recently. The very sight of these low-life scoundrels offends me. The bandit leader glances at Valerie. Hey, Berta, look at the girl on the Baron's service. Clean and slick and well-groomed she is. You could take a lesson or 3 from her, I'd say. Aye, and the Baron himself's quite the man, too. Bet he'd do more overnight than you could handle in a month. Berta glances at you. Say, Your Grace, would you care to take me to your fairy tale castle? Lower than vermin, Valerie says with a grimace. With your permission, I would happily cleanse the world of this trash. Even the vilest of villains deserves mercy if they want to walk the path of redemption. However, I see no remorse in these people. Ooh. I almost want to give them a chance. Honestly. Something tells me I'm going to regret that decision. Like, they're going to, take things a step too far and hurt someone. But, I mean, even Tristian is like, I see no remorse in these people. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like Davos would give him a chance. Also, I love how that's our theme. What would Davos do? Alright, I'll give you a chance. But, if you don't promise to straighten yourselves out, I'll just straight up kill you. Oh, we'll straighten out, don't you worry. We'll turn a new leaf for sure. The bandit leader smiles, his blackened teeth showing behind his beard. Feel like this is a bad mistake. We promise, Your Grace. We kneel before you and swear to become model citizens. You mark our words. And yet, I'm still not certain I can trust you. The bandit woman shrugs almost as if to say, really? Why? These guys are going to try and fuck you over as soon as they can. They certainly will. Just leave. Leave the lands. Leave your loot. I'll kill you if we ever meet again. Told you, these barons always think so high of themselves. Shorty spits on the ground. He robs folks worse than us, and then has the nerve to spew all this righteous crap at us. Shut your trap, Shorty. We'll be leaving now, before his grace changes his mind. You'd be wise to listen to the woman closely. She's clearly the smartest among you. All right. Ooh, That's a good one to have. Alright, well, this isn't exactly what I thought this would be, but that was interesting. Yeah, as much as I wanted to give them a chance, the way they reacted to that chance, I was like, that's a bad idea. Well, I finished the game, but I gotta play again too soon to get all the collectibles. I thought it was so cute, and I enjoyed it. I gotta tell RTF later. She's gonna be so thrilled that you beat that game. Well, screw it, we're here. Let's check this place out, too. Grass has sprouted between the cobbles of the ancient road. You know me and my loot gobliness. I gotta explore every nook and cranny. Another Torag's pendant. Maybe this won't be that big of an area if it's all just a valley. Dwarven Helm Shard. Mission. Whoop. Where the hell did that guy come from? Ooh, motherfucker. Oh, jeez, they keep popping up out of nowhere. Holy hell.
Go on.
Oh my god, another one. Yeah. Despite the Stag Lord being long dead, the bandits still plague these lands. Once sturdy walls became decrepit and crumbled. Okay. Tristian? Oh my gosh. I'll get it eventually. Maybe. Right into a fight with a bunch of spiders. Oh. Painful. Whole bunch of spiders.
Go.
Not good. Oh. Okay. I hate when they go right for my main character. Especially when they are successful. Man, these spiders are good. Not that good. Get him a man. Jesus, 2 of them suffered freaking death's door wounds. Yikes. So we should save right there. Make sure that doesn't happen again. Looks like the 3rd Torag's pendant I found here. I think that's the entire point of this area. The remains of cobbled road are barely visible. The traitor god Torag's priests used to set hiding places and statues like that. Look closer if you wish, you might find something. Oh. Legitimately is something there. Okay. But on the ancient parchment, there are words written by a feeble hand, discolored with age and barely visible. Every morning I wake up as a 20-year-old boy. It's the best morning of my life. For today is the first time I take over the post at the Watchtower over the Great Shield Road. Every morning I open my eyes and see the tower in ruins. Horrified, I grope my gray beard with my gnarled fingers and slowly realize that there is no Shield Road anymore, and it's been this way for more years than I can count. I must be older now than the decrepit Gaugen was when he died and left me alone. Unforgiving time has eroded both the stones of the tower and my flesh and mind. The holy statue of Torag is the only thing time itself dares not touch. I do remember that it's my duty to guard something hidden inside the statue, but I don't remember what exactly I am guarding. The key I wear hanging on my neck, the Langbuck's golden cog, is as heavy as an anvil. Where is the Waradash's white cog? I don't remember. What happened to Skiegi's red cog when its keeper Gaugen died? I don't know. Every morning I go around the neighborhood looking for people. I haven't seen any for years. Neither traders nor bandits. Sometimes my mind tricks me and I recall speaking to a hunter or a scout just yesterday, but these memories are too vague to be true. I guess my feeble mind just entertains itself with illusions. I've been hoping for too long to see a day when dwarves return and restore the road. Now I seriously doubt there is anyone of my kin left in this world, or anyone alive at all. Maybe some unimaginable plague has razed away every single living soul in the whole of Galarian, except for me. If someday someone returns to these parts and manages to read this, remember our names. This tower was built by dwarves of the Waradash, Skiegi and Langabuck clans in 4241. It was abandoned in 4499. We, the last shields, were left behind to keep our eternal watch for the glory of Torag and the dwarven people. Our names were Gaugen Skiegi and Wark Langabuck. It was our free choice, and we have no regrets. Remember us. Unlike the time-worn Watchtower, the statue of Torag is in perfect condition. The dwarven god's face is a stern look, almost accusatory when combined with the surrounding devastation. Harim gives the statue a long look, then spits on the ground without saying a word. Your intuition tells you this statue may be hiding something of value. After several hours searching, you discover a hidden panel with a niche above it. In the niche, a set of jagged grooves adorned with arcane symbols seem to be connected to something deeper inside the statue. It seems that access to Torag's treasures will require the missing cogs. Well, I certainly don't have those cogs. Oh, I don't want to get my ass kicked by this troll either. Screw it. Nope, didn't see the hounds. I also don't think that I have any more acid flasks, so I need to keep Davos alive here. Oh boy. Oh, wait, it's fire too, right? I'm an idiot. Here I am, struggling to get acid attacks out, not realizing that I can use my alchemist fires. That's two. Okay. Two. Really want to try and save my last alchemist fires.
Do you miss your tribe? Don't you ever want to go back to your homeland?
Why the hell? To freeze my ass off on a glacier. Look at their pig snouts. No. You are my tribe now.
This is a good time to call it, just after doing that. So thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. We're going to go say hi to Set the Store. We haven't raided him in probably like a week, which is unlike us. From Barony to Nox. I like all the Steely emotes, but I have no idea what the heck is happening. I'm just going to go with Adventure Awaits, personally. No, thank you for hanging out. Ciao. That's all I got. I'm here all week. I'm not here all week. No, but really, though, I appreciate all of you. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate you spending your time with me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. If I'm not on this week, I hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you very much for the belly rubs. That's up to 6 that I am behind now. God, I need to get better at that. You better send it off like that every time now. Something like that. Yeah, check us out on YouTube. As a reminder for everyone, our monthly giveaway is still going on. I don't even think the first clue has been found, so keep looking for that. And then feel free to join the Discord, where we're a pretty good group of people. It's not just me advertising myself; it's a bunch of us all hanging out, having a good time. So come and join us. We don't bite too hard, but I'll catch you all over at Seth's stream. Have a great night.